Okay, this one says, I suppose we're not friends anymore.
Okay.
But I texted a friend asking if we were still good because she had been distant and short and not answering any texts despite over the last 6 months of me checking up on her and trying to see what she was doing. I confronted her saying that it felt really shady to act in that way. In the way that she does, by leaving me on red for weeks and just cutting me off without an explanation. I've been putting in an effort to maintain this friendship and she's not reciprocating. Then she put in parentheses, I also try to check up on her like once a month to not be overbearing because she never texts me first. It started when she would cancel plans by saying she's busy and then not following up when I ask her other times when we could reschedule. But then she hangs out with other people despite saying she's so busy with work and family and life. I don't care that she does, but she is obviously ignoring me while still hanging out with other people. She responded in a very harsh way along the lines of, why would you accuse me of being a bad friend? I've been such a good friend to you, and this is just negative energy I don't need. Please reflect on yourself. I just want to know if I'm in the wrong. Maybe I could have asked how she was doing, but she never really responded when I did that in the past. So I thought being upfront about the issues and how she made me feel would be the best move. And though I was confrontational, I never said she was a bad friend or accused her of being a terrible person, just that her actions were very shady. And I just wanted an explanation. But she responded with, I'm not your boyfriend. I don't owe anyone anything. My other friends have never asked this of me. And I feel that if we choose to be friends, and I'm back to being the poster now.
Yeah.
And I feel that if we choose to be friends and choose to be in each other's lives, I should at least get the courtesy of an answer when I just want to know if we are still good because of the way she's acting. I don't think communication and reciprocation are reserved for romantic partners, but it almost seems like she is saying that she doesn't owe me anything or an explanation because I'm not in a romantic relationship with her. Was I wrong to confront her? I feel bad if I was the one being insensitive, but I felt like I did my part by trying to reach out to her over the last 6 months, but got no response.
Let that girl go. She don't want to be your friend.
For real.
She obviously don't want to be your damn friend. I don't know what you holding on for. She basically telling you to beat it, scrub, without telling you that. Like, let that girl go.
What Michael say? Beat it.
Beat it.
No one wants to be defeated. But
she don't want to be your friend. She's not interested in being your friend.
Well, I went through this. Almost the exact same thing. Like, if you had just crossed that red, you probably would have thought I wrote it. But a lot of her comments were saying she was wrong for calling her shady.
I don't think she was wrong.
And I was like,
I don't think she was wrong. But I get where she come from. She was like, I tried to like be cool about it, but now she's only getting more and more distant the more relaxed I am about it. Because it is slap in the face. Like, if you want to be the girlfriend, just tell her. Just straight up tell her, girl, I don't want to hang out with you.
I don't see anything wrong. And I've said it before. You've said it before. You should be able to go to your friends and tell them when you're not happy with their actions, whether their actions is shady or not. And if their actions are shady, you should be able to say, hey, your actions are shady. And if your friend got a problem with that, they should have enough responsibility or emotional intelligence to be like, you know what? I don't think I like the fact that you called that shady. I disagree with that.
But then I also dislike, it seems like the only time she gets a reaction from the girls when she say something she don't like. Seems like that's
True.
the only time the girl respond.
True.
So
Yeah, I literally dealt with that. If what 2020, I want to say, texted, literally was reaching out to a friend. Hey, want to do something? Blah blah blah. Reaching out. Be like a week before she respond, a couple days before she respond. I'm like, well,
guess we
okay.
not friends.
So I messaged her and I said, hey, are we good? Feel like you might be mad at me about something. 2 days later, I just get one sentence, 2 words. We good.
Okay.
And I said, okay. Well, nothing left for me to do. I left it there. So that's what my advice be to her.
Just leave that girl alone. She don't want to be your friend.
You know, it's a hard thing for somebody that really like genuinely cares about their friends. It's a hard thing to accept that
you don't always get love back. You know,
yeah, you don't always get love back, and not every friend is going to make it to the end. It doesn't mean that your friendship while y'all were friends wasn't for real. It just meant it ran its course.
And it's like that. Some people are only in your life for a season, and that's that.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen with me and Jay, but at the end of the day,
at least I would tell you, I hate your guts. I would let you know. I would be leaving you on red for a week. I'm not doing all that mess.
Jade, if you hated me enough, yes, you would.
No, I will tell you, I hate your guts. Don't write me.
Whether you actually
I don't secretly hate no damn
whether you actually fall out with the friend or not, because some of them, it could be just like when a relationship ends, you know, mutually. Y'all don't have no bad beef. Y'all just not in each other's life anymore.
If it's mutual, there's no confusion. This is not mutual. Old girl just left her alone. She is vacated. And like I said, when you
genuinely care about your friend, that friends that does hurt. You know, we're talking about do hurt.
Because that teacher gonna come back and say
I know, right? But it does hurt when you have like your friend that you was like, oh, this is my person, and then they like, fuck you. No, we not.
I was sad I had to let my friend go. Oh, I was sad I had to let her go.
But at the same time, realizing that not all friendships are meant to last forever.
Make it last.
Not all friendships are meant to last forever. It does add a certain level of ease to it, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
Because now you don't feel so attached to them anymore. You're like, yeah.
I just stopped responding to that. I wouldn't respond to that girl no more. Be like, all right.
Well, she eventually said in the comments that the girl ended up blocking her. And I said, and if that ain't a sign,
that girl a coward. I don't like her.
But at the same time, if that ain't a sign that you ain't her friend no more, what more do you need?
Do she got to swing a punch at your ass? Like she done blocked you. It's over.
Let her go. Let her go.
She want to be free.
Free as a bird. Let her fly.
Clip a wing.
See, that's the shit Jade be on. Talking about clip her wing. So I got a moral dilemma for us.
Yay! What we got?
Okay, I kind of, you know what, I'm just gonna read it, and then you tell me where you stand on this, or y'all tell us where y'all stand.
Tell me.
Seriously. Okay, it says, my girlfriend of 2 years and I were recently having one of those drunk tell me something shocking conversations.
Ooh, those are fun.
Always fun for other people.
Yeah.
Everything was lighthearted until she dropped something that completely rewrote the origin story of how we became a couple. Ooh. Something I've always held as a romantic and somewhat dramatic beginning.
Ooh.
A little over a month into dating, I told her I wanted to be exclusive. Up to that point, everything between us, her behavior, our connection, the way she talked about us, made me feel like we were on the same page. But during that conversation, she suddenly got overwhelmed, said she needed to leave, and basically walked out. I was confused and pretty upset. I went home thinking maybe that was it. A few hours later, she called me, said she wanted to talk, and drove to my place. That night, outside my apartment in the rain, she told me she did want to be in a committed relationship, and that she had just needed time to meditate and collect her thoughts. I took it as a cinematic beginning to our relationship.
She meditated on some dick, did she?
That entire story changed during our recent drunk conversation.
Oh no.
She told me that she didn't go home to reflect. She left to go have sex with a dude.
I knew it.
Apparently, she met this guy at a party the week we first started going out. They hooked up, and the sex was apparently good enough that she had been hitting him up every few days after that. My girlfriend is usually pretty blunt, but this one hurt to hear, especially in context. According to her, when I brought up exclusivity, she suddenly realized that if she agreed on the spot, she wouldn't be able to sleep with him anymore without it being cheating. So she got up, left without an explanation, went to his place, and had sex for a few hours to get it out of her system. Afterward, she drove straight to my place to officially start our relationship. She says this wasn't cheating because technically speaking, we weren't exclusive yet. She also said that she never felt guilty about it, but didn't say anything until now because she didn't want to ruin our mythology I'd built around our relationship origin story. A story that I loved bringing up whenever people asked how we met. I honestly feel completely blindsided. Even if this wasn't cheating in the strictest technical sense, it feels like a massive betrayal. It was the fact that she effectively scheduled one last hookup before agreeing to be with me. It makes the beginning of our relationship feel tainted, and it makes me question how she views commitment and honesty.
Okay, now that he finished the full story, she didn't tell him because his connection to the story, she didn't want to break his little heart. But then if they were, mind you, they were only dating for a month. This was not like 6 months. This was 1 month. Now, honestly, she did it. She did what most men would do. Is honestly what she did. I mean, if they technically, but they kind of were official what she did. You saying, "Oop, I didn't agree." That don't count. So don't count, ma'am. That is not count.
So here's the thing. I'm like, on a technicality, sure, I can maybe give her that because y'all didn't say yes.
No, the thing is, there was no y'all. He said yes.
He said she didn't, so there was no agreement at that point.
That was fucked up, though.
It's fucked up. I'm like, yes, it's fucked up. I agree with that.
It's fucked up.
But I'm also like,
but she technically didn't cheat on you.
Technically didn't.
But if your first thought was, wait, let me get some good dick one last time.
I just gotta see what that feels like one more time.
For the 12th time.
Just run it back real quick.
Then I'm cool.
That's
fucked up.
It is fucked up. It is fucked up. And I don't condone that type of behavior.
But
at the same time,
I'm conflicted.
That's why I said it's a moral dilemma. It's a moral dilemma.
It's still fucked up though, because she wouldn't like it if the shoe was on the other foot. And
I wouldn't like that. Her. I'm like, damn, could you at least have come to me the next morning? Shit, not literally. You just hopped off his dick and came to me.
I think he's more upset about how long she let this go on with him, thinking that was the story. And then like, well, I didn't want to ruin it because you were having such a good time. He wouldn't have been able to have a good time had you been transparent. Now she could have been like, look, want to date you and all, but I don't know about being exclusive just yet.
Yeah,
you
'cause
could have been honest. You could have been honest.
Yeah, they did end up breaking up, by the way.
Of course they did.
But I was just like, you know what? That is a moral dilemma, because were they exclusive? No.
It's not even about the being exclusive. It's the fact that she let him believe that for 2 years. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
And then he bringing up the story and you just letting him bring it up. And never at no point going, okay, I got to stop letting him
I
tell
just
this
know
story.
when they was mad at each other and he would bring that story up, she'd be like, his stupid ass think that's true.
It's fucked up.
You just know, because you know how people are when they mad at you.
Stupid bitch.
I got this little inside joke and you don't know shit.
I was on his dick, washed my mouth out, and came right over to your house.
Literally switched it. She ain't shit, and she knows she ain't shit. Like, you don't do that to people. Like, if that's somebody you cared about,
but it was like they were only dating for a month. You had nothing to lose by telling the truth.
Literally,
it was a fucking month,
and clearly you had somebody else anyway. So if he decided, well,
I think she was conflicted.
You know what? You know what I think happened?
What?
I don't think it's just that she went to this other guy to have sex. I think she probably went to that other guy to see if maybe he was wanting to be in a committed. He's like, no, you are a fun thing for me. That's
I'm
it.
fine as fuck with good dick. I ain't settling for you. And
he told her ass no. So then she's like, all right, well,
let me come to his house with the boombox, acting like I give a damn. See, he was a backup. Bless his heart.
I'm all for people dating multiple people before you're committed. Like, that's fine. I've always said, do not have sex with multiple people ever, in my opinion. But, not my life. Not my life. But when somebody that you've been dating for a month comes to you and says they want to be exclusive, and you know that you're going to be exclusive with them, don't go leave that man to go fuck somebody else. You should have reminisced on that
last piece of dick and kept it moving.
Or if you thought you was going to miss it too much, you should have been like, well, I don't think I'm ready yet. And that would have been, I assume it would have been fine. I don't know what would have went through his mind.
He would have said, no, I'm ready to settle down now. And that would have been his right to do so. Down. Because it's not really autonomy if they don't have the full story.
That's what I want to do.
So.
Just me and you.
Let's chill.
Let's chill.
That poor girl. Not that poor girl. That poor man. Bless his heart.
It's like I said, it's
not a time. Like I said, it's not autonomy if he didn't have the full story. So it's fucked up.
It's fucked up. Like, I don't think anybody is arguing that. But
she didn't cheat on him, but it's still fucked up.
She didn't cheat on him.
It's still fucked up.
But I do understand why he feels betrayed.
Because I will be mad. Like, what you mean?
I'm like, yo, raggedy lip dick ass.
That's why yo dick ashy.
I be saying all kinds of shit. I say shit that don't even make sense.
I call somebody Limp Biscuit. Like, I just be saying shit.
And they get mad. They get so mad. I'm like, damn, Limp Biscuit kind of got money, don't he? I'm like,
you know what Limp Biscuit
I know what it is. But still. Well, okay. It's hot as hell in here.
No, it ain't.
I got more insulation, remember?
Girl, we both got insulation.
I got more than you. So you shouldn't be as hot as me.
Plus, I ain't got hair.
Exactly. All you doing is proving my point.
Be like that sometime.
Okay, so I got a confession.
Oh, what is
Not my confession. I ain't confessing to shit.
Do.
If I did it, it's going to the grave with me. Would you ever do a crime and then tell your friends?
What is the crime?
I don't know.
Could I go to jail?
Potentially. And you could potentially end up bringing your friend down too.
If I got away with it, I ain't saying shit.
Yeah.
That's how, if I got away, I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, I'm not telling my friends when I do crime.
Two could keep a secret if one of them is dead.
Ain't that the truth?
So,
and I don't want to be in a position where I got to kill my friends.
I'd rather just not say nothing. If I got away with it, I'm taking it to the. I ain't writing it in my diary. I'm taking it to the grave.
I saw that question earlier, and I was just like, I would think to, but then I'd be like, nah,
it's too risky.
It's too risky,
especially if it's like a big
secret.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but that wasn't the confession.
What's the confession?
I don't even remember what it is. I just been adding stuff. I got a whole bunch of
I
shit
would never get over the dang on kidney stealer.
Girl,
I would never.
What, episode 5?
I ain't never getting over that.
I still want to know what happened to her.
So this bitch just stealing kidneys? That was a wild confession.
What is this? I don't know Okay, well, here's the confession. It says, I was crossing the street and I was in my work clothes. It was a very warm day and I'd been working indoors all day doing a physical job and I felt like a hot, sweaty mess. I left my tool belt around my waist, which was annoying me and making me uncomfortable. So I also looked pissed off. As I'm crossing the road, I just happened to look at a car as it's the same as my friend's. I looked up and made eye contact with the woman driving, and she made like a kissy face motion at me and smiled. I thought she was being a bit arsy because she thought I was staring at her. As I got next to her, she wound, I ain't heard that in a while. She wound the window down and whistled at me and shouted, AU, pretty much catcalling them. So I looked over and then she said, you're fucking gorgeous if I wasn't married. And then she drove off. Since then, I feel like I'm floating on air when I walk. I feel 10 feet tall. I don't think I've ever had a stranger compliment me like that. 3 months ago, I found out my friend had been catfishing my wife and loyalty tested her. She failed miserably. And since then, I've felt like shit. I've been going to 2 hours of therapy a week. I've joined social clubs to make friends, started working out, changed my diet, anything to try and lift the fog. Since that 5-second interaction, I feel like a new man, like I could tackle anything and win. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up and the last thing I think of when I fall asleep. I know we are supposed to be angry and not enjoy being catcalled, but my God, do I feel alive? I was like, oh, that's nice.
But the thing is, that wasn't a bad cat
It
call.
wasn't a bad. There's some bad ones out there, but that wasn't a bad one. She literally just
threw compliments at your ass.
Literally. But it just goes to show, like,
words have power. I don't
words have power.
And he been high off that shit for months.
But it's true.
But you don't know what people are going through, though.
Exactly. I'm like, you don't know what people are going through. Sometimes all people need to
loyalty test. What the hell happened? Anywho.
Yeah, I realized why I didn't read this before I added it to the list. I think I just read the comments of it and was like, okay, I'm adding it to the list. But yeah, I ain't read those stuff about the wife, so that was news to me. So I heard the wife failed. So did the friend go through with it too? Yeah, the friend
failed. Talk about loyalty test. No, he must sleep with your wife, homie. There was no loyalty test involved.
But I mean, the power of just being nice to somebody. Because again,
He
you
was
don't
having a
know
shitty day.
what people are going through. Somebody,
Mm.
you being nice to somebody, even if you don't particularly want to, you never know. That might stop somebody from killing themselves, killing somebody else. Like, you just never know.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad he got that cat call.
I'm glad he got that cat call too. That's why I included it. 'Cause I was like, that's so wholesome.
I mean, because people don't mind cat calls. Just some of these cat calls be crazy.
Be crazy. Like, this is when you start, what I'll do to you, and
crazy. She just
chill
nicely
out,
was like, hey, you look good, and drove away.
And
she
drove
didn't
away.
follow him.
And this goes to show. So, okay.
She just drove her ass away.
Let me ask you this, because this is something that gets talked about quite a bit, I feel like, is married people, flirting with somebody else, giving somebody else like that a compliment because she said, you're fucking gorgeous if I wasn't married. Would you have an issue if Victor said something?
Yeah, you better not be catcalling these bitches out here in the street. What the hell is wrong with you? Maybe I'd be mad as hell if I figured out he catcalling motherfuckers in the street.
So, do you think the married woman was wrong?
She should have been catcalling a damn body, but we don't know what type of marriage she got. Maybe it's open. We don't know.
True.
I don't know. Maybe she married to a woman. I don't know. Well, she said husband, but who knows?
Right.
Who knows? That don't in today's world, that still could be a woman. We don't know. We don't know.
Well, what is your...
Boy, I'd be mad as hell if I figured out he catcalling motherfuckers in the street.
Well, what would be your stance on flirting? Because to me, catcalling and flirting are different things.
The thing is,
I think catcalling sometimes take flirting to another level.
Because it's trying to initiate contact.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
But what are your thoughts on being, whether it's marriage, relationship, whatever, and flirting?
If you ain't single, you shouldn't be flirting. That's just how your flirt needs to be with your partner. That's who the fuck you need to be flirting with.
I agree with you. The thing that gets me is, because I always think about myself. And we talked about before how you say I'm a flirt, but I don't never know when I'm flirting.
But the thing is, people unintentionally flirt is what they've been doing it on
That's
purpose.
What I'm saying. I'm talking about unintentionally, like they don't think they're flirting, but other people think they are.
I hope that lady think that wasn't just being nice.
I don't think she thinks that either. But a lot of people feel like whether you intentionally flirted or not, it's an issue.
But the thing is, people who unintentionally flirt, you knew they was a flirt when you got with them. And I don't date flirts for that very reason. Because they flirt with other people and they flirt right into somebody's drawers. And I'm just not.
Dude, the amount of times I've been called a flirt and I'd be like, I don't see it. I genuinely don't see it.
I've seen you. You ain't finna tell me. I've seen your ass.
No.
I've seen it with my eyes. I seen it.
Did I tell you that I've talked to him recently?
I bet you have. What y'all talking about?
The book, The Housemaid.
Why the hell you still got that man number?
I don't have his number. Never did.
What y'all write on the internet and the interwebs?
Mm-hmm. LinkedIn.
Where's his wife at? Anywho,
we ain't doing nothing.
Girl, check his shit. Anyhow.
Oh my God. Don't be wishing that drama on me. Don't be wishing that, because I ain't doing nothing with that man. I'm not going to do.
You ain't doing nothing with that man, but I don't trust him. That's all I'm going to say. I don't trust him.
Yeah, we literally just talked about that book because I finally read it.
But,
and then me and Adam going to lunch on next week. Some point.
Girl, you know what that lunch is.
Yeah, I do know what that lunch is. I want some intel. That's what I want.
You know, that's different. We know what this lunch is. There's no nefarious intentions behind this lunch, and you know it.
Yeah, I also do want to catch up with Adam. I ain't seen Adam in a minute. That was my ASAP.
But you know,
that job.
Two people who might have two different agendas are showing up to this lunch. Like, you know what this is.
Oh, if me and what's his name went to lunch?
No, you and Adam go to this lunch.
What's his agenda? He probably want intel too.
He always 1 foot out the damn door. But anyway,
He need to get 2 feet out the.
He
You know what?
ain't.
Let me leave it alone. Leave it alone, Jocelyn.
But yeah, it's not that type of lunch, and you know it.
Look.
Now,
Well,
old dude, I don't know what type of lunch that would be, but with Adam, it's not that type of lunch.
don't get me started. Cause now, yeah, if he wasn't married, yeah.
Would you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Are we talking about the same person?
L
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you would.
in a heartbeat.
I know you would. You'd already did it.
The 5 heartbeats. It's a house for love, and I learned.
I ain't dealing with you.
I crack me up. If don't nobody else find me funny,
I
I
ain't
do.
dealing with you. I know you would've.
If he wasn't married, yeah. Why not?
The only thing stopping that is you.
Don't-
Anywho.
The only thing stopping that is the fact that he married.
That's why I say you. I don't think he care. But I don't know him. Let me stop talking crazy. I don't know that man.
Don't neither one of us really know that man. I don't even know what this is.
What is it?
Oh, this is a petty story because I think me and you have said we've done it before.
What is it? What is it? What's the petty story? What is it?
It says a neighbor. Oh, no. We haven't done this, but I want to.
Okay, what is it?
A neighbor consistently parked his truck and work trailer in his driveway and completely blocked the public sidewalk. As a pedestrian, it was always annoying to be forced to walk into the street to avoid the trailer. One day, I saw the neighbor's wife in the front yard, and I complained that blocking the public sidewalk was an inconvenience for pedestrians. She shrugged it off. I waited a couple weeks to see if they responded, but nope. I took a photo of the offending sidewalk blockage each day for a week and sent a letter to the enforcement division of the police department. I also sent a letter to the HOA with photos and cited the HOA bylaws, which prohibited trailers being stored visible from the street. It took a couple weeks, but police ticketed them. The trailer blocked the sidewalk less and seemed to be parked on the street more. That is petty.
First of all, now here's how I feel about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's their driveway, right?
But it's blocking the public sidewalk.
Walk your ass the extra foot around and go back to the sidewalk.
Nah, see, I agree with her on that. I have been walking around this
me,
because, you know my neighbors on this side of me.
Yeah.
We talk about them all the damn time with their 60 million cars and they
it don't
messed
make
up.
sense.
It don't make sense. It's just like, why are you blocking the entire sidewalk?
Girl, that's because they everywhere. They right here, they in there,
And
they over there.
Somebody actually commented, and I was like, you know what? I didn't even think about that. And they was like, I think people forget that disabled people and stuff
exist.
That they exist and need the sidewalk too.
Because my thing is, but then also, if you know you have this trailer, why don't you expand your driveway?
Something. Or park on the fucking street.
I don't know why you would. My thing is, it's one thing, but then when someone nicely complained about it, like, hey, you're kind of blocking the sidewalk. Could you please not block the sidewalk?
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what? We are blocking the sidewalk.
But then if I come up your driveway to go around it, you're going to be mad because now I'm on your property.
Because that's what'll happen.
So you are essentially forcing me to have to walk into the street to go around your car because you don't want to park your car on the street.
But then also, when you know you live somewhere with an HOA, you know good and well.
I wish my HOA would step in because the way people do it over here is wild.
And she lives across the street.
Literally lives across the street.
Because she was very interested in talking to me, nosy. But I'm like...
So
if once someone can, even if I didn't find it a problem, if my neighbor, who I know is my fucking neighbor, and I see this motherfucker walking around all the damn time, and they be like, hey girl, hey, like that's kind of blocking, and I can't walk, and I gotta walk in the street essentially. I'm like, you know what? That's rude of me. Let me move my car. Oh, one time, if you know you got a trailer, why is it not on the street?
If the city wants to own, this is going in the opposite direction now because I'm wishy-washy.
Because I didn't know the city would come and give a ticket. I knew the HOA, whatever. But
yeah, I didn't know the police would come. I was like, noted. If I ever decide to get that petty, I'll do that.
I didn't know they did that.
But my thing is this too: if the city want to own the public sidewalks enough to come ticket somebody for blocking it, then why the fuck y'all ain't coming to plow snow when we get too much snow on it? Y'all expect me to do that shit?
Because they
and if somebody come and slip on it in front of my house, it's my fault and I can get sued for it. But that's public sidewalk.
Because let me tell you, so we learned, because our sidewalk, as you see, it kind of lifts a little bit, right? We learned we can't fix it.
Because it's public.
It's public.
But they not gonna
why
come
won't
fix
you
it?
fucking fix
but
it?
But let
then?
somebody fall on it. They're gonna be like, who house is this?
I was like, well, why? Because for that reason, we said, I wish a bitch would sue me. And so we're like, well, we want to fix it. And they're like, no, you can't fix it. I'm like, well, bitch, can you? And they're like, also no. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Also no.
That's basically what they said.
Like, what did you think this was? Did you think we would actually come fix that?
You'd be like, well, why can't?
Are you new to this U.S.?
Then.
Like, did you not know that you were in the U.S. of America?
I was like, because why can't I fix it?
So there was this whole argument going on. Sorry, I'm doing a subject change because I said U.S. of America.
I didn't want to say nothing.
You know,
I'm glad you said something.
But
weight lifted. Anyway.
So, you know, there's this whole argument going around the interwebs about how when people say Americans, it's just assumed you're talking about people in the U.S. But I'm like, then there's the other side. There's like, but you also have like North America. You have the Americas.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
Which includes like Canada.
But Canadians are called Canadians.
Yes,
I do understand they are in North America. I do very much understand
which by default makes them Americans.
But USA are assholes, and we stole America. We stole the phrase America, and it's ours, and y'all can't have it, even though y'all technically
don't say that because then now all the people be see we told y'all that's how y'all felt.
Look, I don't feel that way, but that's what has happened. Like I don't agree, but that is what has happened. Whether I agree with it or not. But I think
about it when I ever have to like tell people like, which is rare, but when I have to tell people where I'm from, I never say I'm from America. I'm American. I don't say I'm from the U.S.
Yeah, I don't say I'm American either.
I don't really know anybody that really does. Usually anybody that I know that says where they're from, they say I'm from the U.S.
But then for the most part, I'm speaking to other Americans, so it's implied. When they ask you where you're from, they really mean what state.
Right. But the way people are going back and forth, and I'm just like, I don't think real people actually really care all that much.
And on top of that, I don't know of anyone who's from Canada that wants to be referred to as American.
I think that's what's causing the argument is that some U.S. Americans are telling Canadians like, hey, just so y'all know, y'all are American too. And they're like, no, the fuck we're not.
We are Canadian, bitch.
Don't nobody want to be labeled as an American. We've ruined it.
I don't know anybody from South America that says, yes, I'm an American. Right. They say where they're from.
But also, is the other side technically wrong?
They don't want it. My thing is, here we go. Why are y'all trying to force people to want some shit? They don't want it. They don't fucking want it. Why are you mad they don't want it? Why?
I'm not saying I get it.
I'm not
I
saying
get
you. I'm
they
talking
don't
about the
want
people
it.
that are like, you're American too. They don't want to be. Why are you upset they don't want to be? First of all, we are very much a shithole at this point. And
It's not that great.
why are you mad? There's a hole for the ballroom and a cage being built at the same time here.
I'd be more upset that I'm being called an American because
If I was a
it
Canadian,
doesn't
I
have
wouldn't
a
want to
good
be
like.
called.
No, I'm not. I
American.
wouldn't be mad for being called an American, but it's like
If I'm a Canadian, I have a better title. That's just how I feel.
why
I'm
they
like, I
get
have a
to be
better
called
title.
Canadians and I have to be called American? Why can't just be called a U.S. citizen? Because American is
It's the
less
same.
to say,
Yeah.
less to say. No. I feel like being called an American and being called a U.S. citizen is two different things. I feel like being called an American has this connotation that you are like patriotic to the max. But if you just say, yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen, okay, you're a normal person. That's the way I see it. And I know we're going to get some hate for that, but, and yeah, that's, you know.
Because I don't describe myself.
When I hear the word American, I think everything in your house is just red, white, and blue. Stars and stripes.
How tacky.
But when I hear, oh, you're a U.S. citizen, I was like, oh, okay, so you live a normal life. Okay.
But again, we kind of took American. I'm confused about now wanting to not be the sole owner of that phrase. Because before y'all were gun-ho, and if a Canadian said that they were American, you would have been upset. But now you're upset that they don't want to be.
It's just, I think it's one of the funniest fights I've ever really witnessed, and it don't really make sense to me.
We have so much stuff going on that's way more important right now.
Way more important. Have you not seen the political climate? But let's not get into that because I don't like talking politics. Even though I kind of feel like we touch on it like almost every episode.
We do a little graze.
Just a little graze. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Not even the tip. Just a little right in front.
So I had some fun with chat this week.
You and your love hate with chat. What you and chat doing today?
So I told
What you and chat up to now?
I told chat, I said, based on your experience when talking to me, give me a character from a movie or show.
No.
Who is just like me.
What is it called?
Just give me their name.
Who is it?
You will never guess who.
Who?
Leslie Knope.
From Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Interesting choice.
Very interesting. So
why?
Let's read the
synopsis. Yes, let's read it.
Explain. It says, I picked Leslie Knope because of the combination of traits you've consistently shown over time. Relentlessly ambitious. You don't just want a successful podcast. You want to build an entire media company through Sweetheart Creations. Hire hosts, bring services in-house, secure representation, and eventually make it your full-time career. It says obsessively organized. Not true at all, because I think I'm very disorganized. But it says you think in systems, workflows, posting schedules, packaging frameworks, debt payoff plans, business structures, analytics, and long-term strategy. You rarely approach anything casually. Deeply passionate about your projects. Yeah. Whether it's AGP, your art business, merch, sponsorships, or community building, you care a lot and put real effort into making things successful.
Now, this is sounding a lot like Leslie, actually.
It says people focused. A huge part of AGP's mission is creating connection and making listeners feel like they're sitting with friends. Leslie is similarly driven by creating community and helping people feel included.
But she's a nut.
She is a nut. Optimistic, despite setbacks.
Which is, that's Leslie. Yeah.
You've had videos flop, growth plateaus, sponsorship challenges, and business frustrations, but you keep tweaking, testing, and moving forward instead of quitting. Then it says, a little intense in the best way. You decide you're doing something, you tend to go all in. Leslie has the same, I have a spreadsheet for my spreadsheet energy.
Not with the synopsis. I see it. At first, I was like, Leslie.
I thought something. I was like, Leslie, no.
But the breakdown ain't bad.
The breakdown ain't bad. But I couldn't stop there.
You and Chat.
I said, what about villains?
Of course you did.
Do you know who it was?
Who?
Miranda Priestley.
Interesting.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, that sounds like interesting.
I had to look it up because it's been a while since I've seen it. It's been a minute. And
her character wasn't bad, though. She really wasn't.
She wasn't
She
bad.
got a bad rap, but she really wasn't.
And when I thought about that, because I was like, she wasn't the best. People just thought that she was. And I was like, you know what? If you ask some of my old staff members, that's exactly what they thought. So maybe it is fitting. And it says, not because she's cruel, but because she has extremely high standards, focused on results, thinks several steps ahead, doesn't get distracted by feelings when trying to accomplish a goal, expects competence from herself and others, and can become laser focused on a vision. The second option was Thanos. It said, if not Miranda Priestley, you're Thanos.
I'd rather be Miranda.
I'd rather be Miranda too, because Thanos was an actual villain.
But the thing is, he was a villain with a goal.
He was a villain with a goal.
And the thing is, even though what he did was fucked up, I understand his logic. I don't agree with it, but I understand it.
I 100% understood what Thanos
I didn't agree with it.
What his mission was.
I understood it.
I 100% understood.
We all do. That's why people go,
said you'd be Harley Quinn.
Why? I do like Harley Quinn.
Not because she's evil, but because she has a big personality, unpredictable energy, says what other people are thinking, can turn normal conversation into chaos, fun, entertaining, and memorable, often becomes the center of attention without trying.
I wouldn't say all that now.
I would. You wouldn't say that because you don't see it.
No. I wouldn't say all that.
But yeah, I 100% think I agree with that. Harley Quinn, although that's one of my favorite villains too.
Everyone loves Harley. I don't talk. I don't have conversations with my AI. I have never asked AI a personal question. It's always, can you do this? Thanks.
I don't ask it things that I think humanizes it. You know what I mean? To me, this is like a fun thing to see based off what I've said.
It's like
to
a personality
and
quiz.
He talked about a bunch of damn analytical shit, which is what I do with ChatGPT.
Because when I tell you, it's good. I told you it was good for the scent combos.
Scent?
Yeah, I have it be like, I want a new fragrance, and I give it my scent notes.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, and recommend shit. And that's what it does.
It's the ones where they're like, tell me how I make you feel. Those are the ones that I'm like, nah, you tripping. You are tripping.
I don't even ask it questions about me.
I mean, well, it's learning about you, so.
I already know it has a full synopsis on what it thinks about me, even though I ask it nothing but like straight questions and answers. I don't, I'm like, hey, here's my resume, update this bitch.
But what are you if you are not your interests?
I know, that's how it knows.
Yeah.
It knows. Because it saves all of your conversation.
But never fucking refers back to them.
Mine does.
Stupid ass chat.
Like, I'll bring up stuff and it always refers back to previous conversation that I had with it before. But then I guess since a lot of my stuff is like school related, it knows to keep it together because it knows that this is for school.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on.
I just ask it to break down shit because some of them concepts be confusing me.
Yeah, chat be
Chat, you and Chat be having whole arguments. You and Chat be doing shit I don't be
pissing
doing.
me off. Like
I
it'll
be doing all that with Chat.
literally be something we had just like. It'll be the same fucking conversation, Jay. And then I'll be like, I do a bunch of packaging and stuff for the podcast with ChatGPT. So I will put after I transcribe all the episodes and all the shorts and stuff, I will save those as Word documents. I will attach them to the chat and say, okay, based off of these clips, what is the ones we should post and where should they post? Which ones should go on YouTube? Which ones should go on all the other platforms? And it'll tell me that. And then I'll go into my folder. I'll organize all the clips into the folder for the days that they're supposed to be posting. And then I'll go back into the chat and I say, okay, now let's work on the actual packaging of these. I need titles. I need descriptions. I need captions, everything. And
what captions, what titles, what video?
And then I'll tell it, let's do this one at a time in the order that it's supposed to post. It would have told me clip number 6 is going to be on Monday, but the first packaging it'll give me is clip 1. I said, that's not the order that it's supposed to go in. Then it go, well, if you tell me what the schedule is for it, I said, you literally you just gave me the schedule for it. Like, what? And then it's like, well, I can't see that far back into the conversation. I say, you know what? You're a fucking liar. I'm like, ChatGPT be trying to make me feel like I'm going crazy.
Chat be fucking with you in a way, I swear. Like, I literally, okay. So
and I'm serious. That is a legit
Jocelyn,
conversation.
I'm telling you, I don't know what you do to it. And so I would like, let's say I bring up a topic. 3 months ago, I wrote a paper about something. So I always ask it I'm like, here's my paper. Let me know any changes you think I need, type thing, right? So I asked it about something. It referred back to my paper from 3 months ago. And I was like, yeah, bitch, kind of like that.
Dude,
I don't know what you be doing. And I got the free one. I'm not even on the paid one. I'm on the free one and it's giving me this.
Girl, I have like literally almost lost my shit.
I know you told me about it. You and Chat get into it. You call Chat a liar, then Chat basically admitted it be lying.
It did. It literally did once. I was like, you're a fucking liar. And he's like, I understand why you're frustrated. And I'm just like, I'm frustrated because you're telling me things that is just not true. And it's about its features. So then I would go to the OpenAI website that owns fucking ChatGPT.
Or so they say.
Right. And I will literally screenshot and I'm like, it literally says it's a feature you can do. And he's like, I should be able to do that. You are correct. And I'm just like, you know what? Fucking ChatGPT is fucking with me. It's just fucking with me.
You're relying on it too much. You don't want that type of reliance.
And I'm just like, and the craziest part is I don't, because when it pisses me off, I will just stop using it. I will not use ChatGPT sometimes for all of our packaging. I mainly use it because I'm just so busy. I don't have the time to put into a lot of the packaging, which if I did, we probably do a lot better, if I'm being honest. But yeah, like I've literally caught ChatGPT in so many lies. It is ridiculous.
Well, that's why I tell people don't cheat with it, because it will make up a whole URL and you click on it and it's nothing.
It 100% does. We have a whole website, agirlsperspective.com. ChatGPT will come with this whole URL with slashes and all kinds of shit in it, telling me to post it in our packaging. And I'm just like, what even is this? I'm not clicking on that.
It don't exist. It made it up.
And I'm just like,
it doesn't even exist.
It's exhausting. But that's also why I don't hide the fact that I use ChatGPT for the podcast. Like, I don't. I will use it to come up with topics. I will use it to come up with content calendars. I will use it to make our posts. Like, it just makes life easier when it works right.
Gotta trust it, though.
I'm thinking about switching to Claude. I heard Claude is like really, really good. And you can kind of use it as like excuse me, assistant with some of that stuff.
Girl, how much is Claude?
I don't know yet. And it has like this weird structure that I'm just like, I don't understand what all these different things are and what it means. And yeah. So I need to look into Claude. But I've heard
learning
good
curve.
things. Right? But we're doing a podcast. We kind of need to stay up to date on these kind of things too.
And I don't like the name Claude. Seems
Why?
presumptuous. I don't like this.
Of course you wouldn't. But yeah, me and ChatGPT do get into some arguments because it just angers me sometimes when it lies.
The thing is, Chat is not used to being confronted with its lying. Well, a lot of people aren't smart enough to realize they're being lied to.
And it'll literally be stuff that it did before. Like when we first took our thumbnail pictures.
Yeah, you let me know about Chat. I'm like, girl, just let Chat go. You gotta pay for Chat. It better do what the fuck I said.
The fuck? Same thing with Stray Kids with that damn bubble.
Oh, now they try to post shit now. I said, oh, now that she done got rid of the bubble. I see it. I said, I ain't paying for that fucking bubble.
I ain't paying for it no more either.
Fuck that bubble. I ain't doing
it. I paid for it and they stopped talking, so I stopped paying.
But now Blind Chan is back. And he on his bullshit, as he always is when he's blind.
Oh, let me tell you. Somebody says... So somebody had posted a video, a clip of Michael Jackson dancing. I forget what song, doesn't even really matter. But they was like, he getting it because, Michael Jackson singing, dancing, that was his thing. And
they better not compare anybody Straight Kids to Michael. They better the fuck not. Oh, they better the fuck not. Jocelyn, they better the fuck not.
Somebody commented and said, if you like him, you'll love Stray Kids.
Dead.
Don't get me wrong. I loves me some Stray Kids. Like they are here.
You, that is a stretch.
That is a stretch. I mean, like, yes, Stray Kids are talented. Yes, Stray Kids can dance. Yes,
they don't got nothing to do with Michael Jackson.
They ain't got shit to do with Michael Jackson. Like, not a damn thing. I don't know where
Stray wrote that shit.
I don't know where the link
Stray wrote that.
The link between Michael Jackson and Stray Kids came from, but I feel like there should have been a disconnect.
What Stay wrote that?
But here's the crappiest part. Somebody actually commented and said those were his favorite types of kids. I said that should not be funny.
That's fucked up.
Speaking of, are you going to watch the documentary?
I don't know, girl. I'm going to wait till it's free, quite frankly. I ain't paying.
It's going to be on Netflix.
When is it? Like probably next month or something, probably?
You're thinking about Michael, the movie.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the documentary. That's the biopic. Netflix is releasing a documentary called The Verdict. And it's about Neverland and the trials that he was going through for was it child something.
I was young, so
because I don't think it was the M. I don't think it was the M word.
No, I'm gonna watch it because again, all this was going on while I was too young to fully grasp what the trials really were or all
and what was going on. You know what I want?
What?
I want them to release a documentary about the trials with R. Kelly.
I'm surprised they haven't.
Like, that's the trials I want to see.
Because we missed out on that.
I missed out on both of them. But yeah, I plan to watch that documentary too. There's a lot of people saying like, oh no, I'm boycotting it because he's already been proven innocent. I was like,
well, the thing is, if he was proven innocent, what's wrong with watching?
Because they feel like just bringing it up again is just wrong. Which I could understand that. I could understand it, but
it's like I missed it. I was young. I want to see.
I'm messy, so I'm gonna watch it. I ain't getting no dirt from Michael, so I got to get it from somewhere. Shoot. But yeah, I plan to watch it.
Interesting timing, though.
It's very, very interesting timing.
Interesting timing.
I think it's interesting timing on a lot of documentaries that come out about people that die. Did you see how fast the Kobe Bryant documentary came out after he died?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I think it came out like I didn't watch it either, but I think it came out like the month after he died. I was like, so
were y'all working on this?
Exactly. I'm like, how?
I didn't watch it.
I didn't either.
It didn't sit. I was like, too soon. I don't want to.
Way too soon. But yeah, I do plan to watch the documentary, The Verdict, that comes out on Netflix.
But I just feel like the timing. I'm like, y'all can't never let that man have some success. But anyway,
I mean, is it really his success though?
Even in death,
it's more his siblings' success at this point.
They just making a boatload off of it.
That's my take.
And then it's gonna be a part 2.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Dude, I'm watching when it's free on Netflix. I'm not paying for it.
The first one wasn't worth it, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth.
I'm gonna see it for free.
And hopefully to you, it's very little. Because my opinion should not matter that much.
I'm watching when it's free, like I do most movies now. I just wait. I'm paying for all these subscription services. I'll just patiently wait for it to be free on one of them.
Patiently waiting for it. Yeah, I agree with you. The only reason I went to see Michael that time was because somebody else was paying for it.
You and Nate?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he wanted to watch that.
I was surprised too. Well, I wasn't surprised that he wanted to watch it. I was surprised he asked me if I wanted to go with him. But
y'all funny.
Hey, we are who we are, I guess.
Hey, I'm hot now. You right. It's hot in here.
Yeah, and that's a good time to wrap it up. Anywho. Because we was just gabbing at this point.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what the next topic was going to be about. So, if y'all want to start, sending us some stuff.
Do it.
That's all we saying. But anywho, thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for coming through and sitting with us for however long you sat with us. If you made it at this point the whole time. It's Friday.
Obviously.
I'm tired. It's Friday and I'm tired. We record on Fridays in case y'all didn't know.
It's Friday.
Freaking Aaliyah. I love her music. Mm-hmm. They don't have any documentaries about her.
I think they do.
Do they? I know they got some on Damon Dash.
I feel like they might. But her family might have blocked it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, her family seem more private.
Her family don't play.
As they shouldn't.
I don't know.
But anywho, on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and
share.
And on the audio platforms, make sure you like, comment, follow, and
rate and review
on there as well. If we have a goal to, increase our, views and watch time and stuff on our episodes or listen time on the audio. Mm-hmm. So if y'all could help us out by sharing the episodes, that would be highly appreciated.
Please
appreciated. Words is not wording today. So we would really appreciate that. So if y'all could help us out with that, that would be great. But I guess with that, we will see y'all in the next one. Deuces.
Bye, friends.